Hi guys, Vechs here, reporting to you live from Davian Shipyards, where I am designing the crowbar for use in my Meteor Storm survival world. Construction's been going pretty good. We're almost done. I have added a forward reinforced armor section that doubles as a ram, and I've painted it up and given it slanted blocks to look quite menacing, I think. You know what it kind of reminds me of? If you've ever seen Robot Wars or Robot Arena or any of those TV shows where robots fight in a small arena, and some of them try to flip each other over and others try to like ram each other, and some have pneumatic spikes that shoot out. It kind of reminds me of one of those things. Having a ram plate up front. So I've painted it and added a rear section here with the grinders on, and I've worked out about how I want the engines on here. And yeah, so my original plan is pretty much intact. It has an extremely heavily armored frontal area with a lot of concentrated forward firepower. Then in the middle of the ship is where the majority of the engines lie, in the middle area here. And then towards the rear of the ship, you have a large grinder array to grind up whatever is salvaged. Now, I think I might need to come in and put like a landing pad or something. We'll have to see about that. Some kind of landing pad that lets me grab whatever I've killed and basically stop it in order for me to turn around and start grinding it down. I did add landing pads here. These are for the purposes of docking small ships. Can come and land here in this little tucked away area. And there's one on the other side too. Internally, the ship has not changed too much. I added catwalk plating around to give auxiliary armor to some of the engine areas here, as you can see. And the catwalk is painted. They're not the most durable thing ever, but they can soak up passing Gatling fire from Gatling turrets, basically so stray shots don't hit the engines, but are instead absorbed for a little bit with the catwalks here. Behind the main entrance to the interior of the ship so here's the interior. Hasn't changed too much. And then back here in this area, behind thick layers of more heavy armor, is a backup cockpit in case the forward one is destroyed. And this one has no windows. It's completely encased in heavy armor towards the rear. This is intended for use with cameras, so I'd like to probably get some cameras in here. Alternatively, you can always fly the ship in third person. And it can fire the cannons just as well as that forward cockpit can. And but the actual cockpit is behind not only its own layers of armor here, but if you look up front, if you look at it, if I look straight at this thing, the entire second layer here on the deck is in the way, all the way through. So that secondary cockpit sits behind 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 layers of heavy armor if you look at it straight on from the front, which is how this thing is intended anyway. This is a very specialized ship. This is not a general purpose warship. It's intended for one specific mission, and that is the disabling of NPC cargo ships and then grinding them down for resources. I would not... I mean, against an enemy... Oh, and this is a Corvette class. I'm going to be using the... yeah, this is about I think this is around just over 3,000 metric tons, which puts it into the Corvette class according to my own... I actually developed my own standards for classifying ships by weight class, and my own standard was actually very close to what I found on the Space Engineers Forum, which are standards presented to the community and highly upvoted or liked or whatever the forum, their forum version of that is. So I think I'll use those standards. So this is looking to be a Corvette, basically. Which in the grand scheme of the things is not very heavy, and I think one thing contributing to its low weight is the light armor. The entire rear half of the ship back here is all light armor because it's not intended for combat. And really, it's a heavily armored ship, but the armor is all oriented to the front. From the side, or from the top, or honestly any other side, I don't expect nearly as much durability out of it. I did put catwalks here that face upwards like this. The ones with the little railing, so the railing protects some of the thrusters. I thought it looked kind of cool. So for the most part, this is very practical. I didn't do much on this ship purely for looks. Like, everything about this ship is for a practical purpose. This ram plate here for ramming ships also doubles as a form of spaced armor. Hopefully it can withstand a significant amount of punishment before weapons fire even begins impacting the main hull. And this is all just solid steel plate to build this, so I view it as completely expendable and disposable. So if it gets shot up during engagements, I don't really care too much. The only thing I'm really worried about is rocket fire impacting the guns here and knocking out multiple guns. But hopefully these have, depending on the mod, I'm kind of hoping they have a decent amount of HP. Okay, so we're almost done putting together the ship. I have a few more things. I need to work out power consumption, because I'm like 99% sure it's underpowered right now. And because I say that because I copied and pasted it and converted the copy into a test ship, and I flew it around for a bit. And I think I'm going to basically need to come in here and put a large reactor on the ship to help power it, because right now it doesn't have enough power. And it could also use gyroscopes, which I'll go ahead and add into the design. I already know where I'm going to put the gyroscopes, so no big deal there. I'm going to take them down here, and there's plenty of space right in here for gyroscopes. So I think that's going to be 6, I believe. Let's go ahead and install 12 of them. I had symmetry mode on, so that'll be 12 gyroscopes mounted behind pretty thick, heavy armor. And another backup pair back here. There we go. That ought to give the ship quite good maneuverability and turning ability. Alright. Now, the power is something we need to work out. I think the problem with the large generator is that it's Well, it's it's quite large. It's in fact huge. Now, I was thinking about where to put it, and I'd like to be able to connect it to the conveyor system. And I was noticing that back here it looks like there may be some space. And there's 2 blocks down and then 2 blocks up. So I might be able to stick it in here. And I know that this is where... let me see if I could fit this. How close are we? There's the... Okay, so that right there needs to be a conveyor tube. Boop! And then these blocks need to be removed. And I believe towards the rear during the rear here back here is going to be the safest place when this ship engages in combat. There we go. Now this would be, I think, a good spot for a main reactor. It ought to be fairly safe back here. And also out of the way. Now I just need to figure out a way to enclose it within armor. And I think the easiest thing to do might be to introduce our old friend plating. And there we go. And just cover it up like that within plating. And then cover that up, and then that up. And there we go. We have an enclosed main reactor towards the very rearmost area of the ship. Now, honestly, I think what I might do is give it heavy armor from the front here. There we go. That should provide a degree of protection from the front. But the thing is, that's only going to really come into play if it gets shot at an angle from something, say, over here, impacting here. As far as the rest of it goes, I think it ought to be okay. There we go. So it should have enough power and gyro now. And the main reactor is connected up to the conveyor system, and the... let me see. I think one of the reactors... Yeah, you can come over here and access through the thruster here. It's kind of hoopty, but it works. In case you need to stick, you know, some uranium to get the basic power online, you can access a reactor from outside the ship, which is important to me for practical reasons. Because if the conveyor belt system runs out of power, then you're kind of up the creek. Which actually, that might be a good argument, now that I think about it, to put some solar panels on the ship for the sole purpose of powering, acting as a backup power source for the conveyor system. There we go. Well, you can orient that to the sun to give it some idling power. Now, I'm not sure, I'm still on the fence about putting on Gatling turrets. If I did install them, they would be... That's a good question, actually. Maybe one right here. Needs to go this way, I think. There we go. Although that means that... Crap. Crap. No. Crap. Actually, making that block style might be fine. There we go. Now I'm pretty sure that's just fine like it is. You can walk up here. I actually think it would be kind of cool if you could just walk up here. Let me put a ramp there. And I should be back in symmetry mode, but I'm not. Okay. So you can just come out and walk right up here and walk down the entire rear of the ship. It's kind of cool. Symmetry mode. Let's remember that this time. It's the one with the catwalk. Booyah. There we go. Alright. Up we go. So you can just walk, because it's got a gravity generator down the whole top of the ship. That's kind of cool. I like that. So now the solar panels are on the top of the ship, as is the turret, and it's mounted right in the middle where it can provide the biggest area of protection against meteors. That's all this turret is. This turret is just for shooting down meteors. In fact, assuming this... Gatling turret 3. 300 meters, close. Use the conveyor system. No missiles, no moving objects, just meteors. It's just a meteor turret. Okay. Cool. So there's solar power, there's a new reactor, there's gyroscopes, meteor protection. I think it's ready for trials. Wouldn't mind painting that. Hopefully that was symmetry mode painted. Yeah, it was. Symmetry mode makes painting so much easier. I really do enjoy it. Cool. There's just one last finishing touch, and that would be the beacon and/or antenna. I suppose all capital ships ought to have both, just because a ship this large needs full, to be a full-featured capital ship. And I can never... they're right beside each other. What is so hard about that? So a good place for the antenna would be where? How about right here? Sticking right up between the two solar panels. That way it doesn't protrude upwards as much. Cool. Now, a beacon would be kind of nice too. The beacon can just kind of go wherever. It's not hugely important. There we go. So it has an antenna and a beacon. And I think I can access this. Just go ahead and turn the antenna off by default. And then the beacon, this would be a crowbar class Corvette. Nope, Corvette. It's a crowbar class Corvette, and we want it to broadcast a stately range of 2,000 meters for a capital ship. That is a crowbar class Corvette. Awesome. Well, I think all that's left to do is to grab a copy of it and stick it out here in open space. Actually, wait a minute. And I'm going to have to go inspect it to make sure it copied properly, because last time I did this, there was a piece that was left out of the copy, and I was very displeased about that. Yeah, do you see? Right here. We're missing a staircase. That sucks. Like, why doesn't the staircase get copied over? I would really like to know that. Oh, maybe because there's no attachment point for it. Maybe that's it. Well then. Is that the problem? There's no attachment point for this here? Well, that kind of sucks. Well, if you're gonna be like that, then I'm just gonna do this. And I'm going to be on my way. Take that. There. That works. Very compact ship. Not a whole lot of room. Alright, you are now a ship. I guess for a big ship, that's alright. For a ship so large. I mean, I guess I can't expect miracles. Yeah, that's pretty good for a large ship like this. Let's try handling and acceleration. Go ahead and turn the dampeners off. It's doing, what is that, about 2 meters per second? 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, just under 2 meters per second acceleration. Guess that's okay for a Corvette. Alright, let's turn this baby around. And overturn like a boss. And practice some long-range gunnery. Wonder what the range is on So, hitting the most vulnerable point would be the thrusters. Did they come apart? Can't quite tell. Oh yeah. Yeah, those things are dead. Those things are super duper dead. Hi. So definitely from the side, it's definitely vulnerable, like I said. These guns seem pretty damn powerful. So if the guns took damage, yeah, that's what I'm worried about. From like, if rockets impact the gun area, the whole ship could be defanged quite rapidly. That's a concern. Now let's see from the front. just how durable she is. So one volley, and that armor impact plate vanishes. So it would be 2 volleys to get inside the front. I suspect she will be amazingly resistant to Gatling cannon fire. How about the top up here? Yeah. I'm not quite sure if this is a testament to how powerful these guns are and the fact that I've got 5 of them all right together. Because I'm using the heaviest armor that I have available to me. Tell you what. I have an idea. Let's take manual control of my Gatling turret and get in a little trigger time. You know what I just realized? That means the Gatling turret can function as a camera. Why are we moving? Why are they moving? Oh, probably because they don't have gyroscopes. Yeah, this thing is going to be nearly impervious to Gatling fire from the front. I'm just throwing that out there. Just saying. Is it T to give up control? Yeah. So from the front, it looks like armor is quite effective against the weapons that the NPC ships will have. Kind of curious to see how it handles against rockets from the front. So that light armor back here, yeah. The funny thing is, it almost seems like the light armor doesn't do as bad as the heavy armor. Like, well, for the price and weight increase, it seems like the light armor doesn't do too badly for, you know, what it is against these cannons. It's kind of interesting, I find. Quite curious to see how the grinders handle. Probably want to slow down just a little bit here. There we go. Let's do it 1 meter per second, or just under 1 meter per second. Let's head out and take a look at what's going on. And Sage was in my room sleeping on my bed. He just woke up. Hey! Hey, cutie! Hey! Oh, I love you, little guy. You want to be my co-pilot? You cutie. I'm petting him now. He came over for petting. Now he's headbutting my hand. Oh, what a cutie. What a cutie. Um... Yeah, grinder, array, looking pretty good. Alright. Let's head back in here and pull away. Dampeners on. Let's go forward. Full speed ahead. Alright, I think we're ready to... Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Right. The docking arms. I almost forgot. We gotta be able to dock stuff, right? Alright, dampeners on. How's the inventory? It's creative mode, so that's what I thought. Creative mode inventory does not get filled up. I think we're very close to being ready to publish. Door. I want all doors closed. Then I'd also like some landing gear. Okay. Actually, right here up front might be kind of nice. A good spot to put this stuff. That's right, Sage. Yeah. So then... Sage, what are you doing? Meow. Brrr, yeah. Brrr. Brrr. Maybe like this? So... I could just slide the battering ram right next to the enemy ship once it's been disabled and attach one of these landing pads on whichever side it's convenient, and then apply dampeners and stop the ship, and then turn around and grind it down quite easily. And I might want to, I might want to turn the grinder arrays off, I think. And thankfully, Mr. Gatling Turret here gives me control. There we go. A control panel. The only thing left is I'd like to put some cameras on, and then we can publish it. Where to put cameras? I wish you could mount them on a slope, but you can't. What about... here? Like that. Hey, Say, I know you're bored. You were asleep, and now you're being whiny and wanting to leave my room. I'll go open the door for you in a little bit. I have to make a spaceship first. He doesn't understand the concept of spaceships and that they have to be made. What about a camera there, just in case it survives? And that'll give me 2. So I can come inside the cockpit. Cargo access. Okay, and we would probably want camera 1 and camera 2 right here. Boom. You're kidding me. Apparently, I managed to mount them upside down. I will fix that, be right back. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Alright, if we can rapidly switch There's forward cameras. That's right above. Oh yeah, that's great. So I can control this from the rear cockpit quite well. That's almost as good as being up there. Close that. Well guys, I think she's ready. We've got everything necessary. And I think my official color scheme for warships is going to be white, or light, maybe light gray. No, white and red. White and dark red is what it is. So there she is, the Crowbar class Corvette, for disabling NPC ships and then salvaging them with an array of grinders, capable of withstanding quite a significant amount of 25mm Gatling fire from the front, which is what she's for. Alright, so I'm going to take a picture of her. Let's do Control B. There we go. And what are you called? You're not a platform. You are a... You're the Davian Vet Crowbar class. There we go. Close. So, Corvette, Crowbar class. Is there anything else? Turret, solar panels, gyroscopes, reactors, beacons, cameras, landing gear, docking landing gear to the middle. We've got the connectors. I think we've got everything. The antennas. The turret's been pre-configured. The doors are closed. The grinders are off. Well, I tell you what, if I mess up something, y'all can let me know. But I think I've got everything. Let's publish that. Details. Published workshop. Boom. Yes. I don't know what that is. But I noticed some other people were publishing stuff to the workshop under the DVN tag, and it actually looked like one guy was just copying my stuff and re-uploading it with a new paint scheme. That's pretty lame, and I'm not a fan of that. So if you wouldn't mind like not doing that, that'd be cool. But you know. Anyway, I guess it's a free workshop. You can name your stuff whatever you want, but there's plenty of other three-letter combinations you could use. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. And I think it's safe to go ahead and delete the Crowbar prototype. We've got the full thing built now. Anyway, guys, I'll see you back in my survival world. And actually, we might want to do some more work on the longsword prototype in the shipyard before going back to the survival world. But that will wait for another episode. I love you guys. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you enjoyed this look into building a capital class ship. There's a lot of work involved. I did a ton of work off camera. I'm sure you can see towards the rear here of the ship. It's a really compact ship. There's a lot of stuff inside it that there's not really much free airspace inside the ship. It's all condensed, just solid block, except for the area, the little crew area up front here. But anyway, if you want to add more guns to it, you could easily mount Gatling turrets or rocket turrets here at this connector. In fact, maybe I'll make a modification to the Crowbar class and turn it into a full-fledged warship without the grinder array in the back. Yeah, that actually sounds kind of like a cool idea. I might do that. Well, anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. As always, take it easy.